This is history being made. I've got the live stream pulled up. We're all going to watch this together. This is like, I'm nervous. My palms are legitimately sweaty. Weak knees, arms, mom, spaghetti. Justin Trudeau is going to go live and make comments about the Emergency Act that he threatened earlier. This is a really big day for Canada. So they're just doing the, I don't know what they're doing right now. There we go. That's ready to go. So we're just waiting all together. This is absurd. Never in my life would I have thought that Trudeau would be doing this. We're living in a dictatorship. There's like, I mean, I've said this before, right? They didn't even do this on 9/11. They did not invoke the Emergency Act on 9/11. So the fact that he thinks he can do this right now and get away with it is just, it's ridiculous. There's no explanation for it. Thanks for the video, sure. Yeah, my pleasure. It's a lot of work. Yeah. Oh, whoopsie. It's been a lot of work, but we're still doing it. I accidentally became at the risk of tooting my own horn, one of the most popular independent journalists. It was an accident. I just started posting about it because I'm a patriot, veteran, love my country, and here we are. You know, grown a YouTube channel to insane numbers. The whole world is watching, and it's embarrassing that Trudeau is acting this way, like a big child. He's just a big child. There's no explanation for what's going on from Lisa. I know, right? It doesn't make any sense. 9/11. He didn't even invoke the Emergency Act. Yeah, here we go. For what? A bunch of Canadians standing together, waving the flag and being peaceful. Like, it just doesn't make any sense what's going on. So you called this 18 months ago. I mean, it's wild. So everybody here, while we're waiting, I'm waiting just as much as you are. The live streams are pulled up. You know, let's spam that thumbs up button. Let's get this pushed out into the algorithm. Let's all do our part. This is just ridiculous. See if we can get more viewers than global. That'd be pretty wild. Okay. How's everybody doing today? Is everyone as nervous as I am? Because this is like Canada's about to declare an emergency act. I mean, fingers crossed it doesn't happen, obviously, right? Who would want that except for Trudeau himself? Like, I want him to get out there and be like, hey, you know what? I messed up and we're ending it. Or even if he says, oh, ho, 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 ho. Here it is.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am accompanied today by Deputy Prime Minister Freeland and Ministers Lametti, Mendocino, and Blair. I'm here to give you an update on the illegal blockades and tell you about our efforts to support Ukraine facing potential Russian invasion. But let's begin with the situation here in Canada, of course.
Illegal blockades that have been disrupting the lives of too many Canadians. Here in our capital city, families and small businesses have been enduring illegal obstruction of their neighborhoods, occupying streets, harassing people, breaking the law. This is not a peaceful protest. At the borders in different parts of the country, the blockades are harming our economy and endangering public safety. Critical supply chains have been disrupted. This is hurting workers who rely on these jobs to feed their families. Yesterday, the Ambassador Bridge was reopened between Windsor and Detroit. Our team and I have been working with Ontario and the City of Windsor around the clock. I want to thank the officers on the ground, including the RCMP, who played an active role. We now have a responsibility to make sure that the bridge stays open. With each illegal blockade, local law enforcement agencies have been acting to keep the peace within their jurisdiction. Despite their best efforts, it is now clear that there are serious challenges to law enforcement's ability to effectively enforce the law. On Friday, Ontario invoked a state of emergency to respond to the blockades. This was the responsible and necessary thing to do. Today, to continue building on these efforts, the federal government is ready to use more tools at its disposal to get the situation fully under control. After discussing
Here it is.
Cabinet and caucus, after consultation with premiers from all provinces and territories,
Holy shit.
after speaking with opposition leaders,
Don't do it.
the federal government has invoked the Emergencies Act to supplement provincial and territorial capacity to address the blockades and occupations.
Holy crap!
I want to be very clear. The scope of these measures will be time-limited, geographically targeted, as well as reasonable and proportionate to the threats they are meant to address. The Emergencies Act will be used to strengthen and support law enforcement agencies at all levels across the country. This is about keeping Canadians safe, protecting people's jobs, and restoring confidence in our institutions. Here's how the measures we're taking today will help get the situation under control. The police will be given more tools to restore order in places where public assemblies can constitute illegal and dangerous activities, such as blockades and occupations, as seen in Ottawa, the Ambassador Bridge, and elsewhere. These tools include strengthening their ability to impose fines or imprisonment. The government will designate, secure, and protect places and infrastructure that are critical to our economy and people's jobs, including border crossings and airports. We cannot and will not allow illegal and dangerous activities to continue. The Emergencies Act will also allow the government to make sure essential services are rendered, for example, in order to tow vehicles blocking roads. In addition, financial institutions will be authorized or directed to render essential services to help address the situation, including by regulating and prohibiting the use of property to fund or support illegal blockades. Finally, will enable the RCMP to enforce municipal bylaws and provincial offenses where required. This is what the Emergencies Act does. Let me be equally clear about what it does not do. We're not using the Emergencies Act to call in the military. We're not suspending fundamental rights or overriding the Charter of Rights and Freedoms. We are not limiting people's freedom of speech. We are not limiting freedom of peaceful assembly. We are not preventing people from exercising their right to protest legally. We are reinforcing the principles, values, and institutions that keep all Canadians free. Après des discussions avec
Following discussions with Cabinet and caucus, after consulting the premiers of all provinces and territories, and after speaking with the leaders of the opposition parties, the federal government has invoked the Emergency Measures Act to complete
Those who are just joining in, it's a sad day in Canada. Our so-called Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has just declared on live that he is invoking the Emergencies Act in Canada. Police officers have a duty now, and they need to come forward for what they signed up to do, and that's to serve and, most importantly, protect. And we're at risk of losing our fundamental rights beyond what we've already lost.
What we want to do is
This is unbelievable. This is a historic day in Canada.
reinstating confidence in our institutions.
This is disgusting. I'm appalled. I'm embarrassed.
But it exists for a reason. Invoking the Emergencies Act is never the first thing a government should do, nor even the second. The act is to be used sparingly and as a last resort. Right now, the situation requires additional tools not held by any other federal, provincial, or territorial law. Today, in these circumstances, it is now clear that responsible leadership requires us to do this. These measures must be and will be compliant with our Charter of Rights and Freedoms. Indeed, the Emergencies Act was created in the late 80s to flow from and uphold the Charter. We'll always defend the rights of Canadians to peaceful assembly and to freedom of expression, but these blockades are illegal, and if you're still participating, the time to go home is now. On a separate track from the Emergencies Act, I want to reassure people that the Canadian Border Services Agency is already turning back non-Canadians trying to enter Canada to participate in blockades. And of course, while we get the situation under control, we'll continue to have Canadians' backs. I want to remind affected businesses that if you're facing revenue losses, support is available through our wage and rent subsidy programs. We know that downtown Ottawa businesses in particular have been hard hit by these illegal activities. In the coming days, we'll be launching specific support for those businesses. I know that everyone is tired of this pandemic. We're hearing your frustration with COVID and even with the temporary measures we had to put forward to keep people safe. I know people are frustrated. I hear it. You have a right to express that frustration and even your anger with the government or government policies. It's something we'll always defend in this free and democratic country. But blockading streets and critical infrastructure and depriving your neighbors of their freedoms is a totally different thing. It has to stop. Tout le monde est fatigué de la pandémie.
Everyone is tired of the pandemic. There are other
All right.
ways to express yourselves.
I'm going to turn it around while they're speaking French, because we all just heard it in English. This is an embarrassment to Canada. I'm so speechless. I don't even know how to be angry or shocked right now. I don't know how to express my emotions. I know that. Oh, he's in English again.
Ukraine. On Saturday, I spoke with President Zelensky.
Oh, they're talking about Ukraine. Unfortunately, as important as that is, this is also a little bit more important. I am shocked and appalled to be a Canadian right now. This is embarrassing. I know, and I knew that this was a risk, but it's kind of one of those things where, yeah, it's talked about, but it's probably not going to happen. You know, it might happen. It very well could happen. It just happened. It just happened. I don't know what to say. I have no idea what to say. I've been trying to process all of this. This has been an extremely I mean, specifically the past 4 days, 5 days have been just so heated that I'm at a loss for words, and I haven't really had time to process everything because I've just been so busy reporting and getting the first clips out to everybody and being as objective as I can. And now here we are, the most historical pivot in Canadian history has just happened right in front of our eyes. They haven't even done that for 9/11. I I take my passport. I don't want to be Canadian at this point. This is disgusting. It makes no sense. I don't know what the next move is. I have to think about it. I have to think about what is the best course of action moving forward. Um, this is a sad day. Sad day in Canada. They haven't done this. Invoke the Emergency Act. And then here we are. Like I'm embarrassed. I really am. I don't want to tell anybody I'm Canadian. This is embarrassing. That's it for now. Let's tune back in for the videos. This is absolutely disgusting. Thanks for watching. It's a sad day. It's really sad. Thanks for watching, everybody. Thank you for all the super chats and the memberships that have joined. I missed them. I'm sorry. I didn't want to interrupt the stream. So I'm sorry I didn't respond to anybody. I'm at a loss for words right now. It's going to take a little bit to process. The whole world is watching as Canada just fell. We just crumbled. I'm at a literal loss for words. So thanks everybody for stopping by. Thank you everybody for the memberships and stuff like that. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you.